Boom. Greetings from YouTubeville once again. Danny Savage, Draft Guru. Today, got a lot of information pumping out, but I just wanted to get this quick out of the way. Do not hate me, but I'm just going to drop Dallas Cowboys mock draft 67.0. This week, I'll be coming out with a full 32 round mock draft, probably about Wednesday, and we have at 615, I believe, draft prospects, and I want to be closer to 670 at least by 675 by Saturday. All right. So like I said, I'm going to be dropping 10 more draft prospects after this for all 32 teams in the NFL. All right. Listen, man, this is typical bullshit Dallas. The best defensive tackle on Michigan in the last 3 years has been Mason Grahm, 6'3", 340-ish, wrestling background. He's just he's a Tasmanian devil in the middle. He's not your typical defensive tackle for Michigan. He doesn't catch blocks. He has violent hands. He's a bull in a china shop. He jacks up O-linemen, throws them. He's not dancing. He's not ballroom dancing. And he either gets up the field or he goes vertical. And he has crazy vertical speed left to the right. So at pick 12, I would take Mason Grahm, number one defensive tackle on the board. But as Dallas likes to fuck up a ham sandwich, excuse my language, Dallas is talking to Kenneth Grant, whatever you want to call him, Michigan's other defensive tackle. Like I used to joke around, the Joneses talk about stuff like, I think they measure the defensive tackles. They measure their players in the locker room, in the shower room. They don't measure their players on the football field. It's a joke. All right. At 44, honestly, I don't see this kid being here, but it's January. To do 27th at 14-22, we're having fun. I'd pick 44 because since Dallas had this new coach, I've even done my drafts where we moved back. I believe it was the Travis Frederick draft. We moved back twice in the first round. And I don't think that's off the table with this draft, to be honest with you. It's so up in the air. 44, giving you Jihad Campbell, linebacker, Alabama. 6'4", legit 250. He lines up anywhere he wants. He's a stud versus the run, and he gets after the passer. I believe he had 5 or 6 sacks on the seasons. We have to fix this defense. We have to fix this O-line. We have to get running backs. I don't care if we switch to a 3-2-5, 4-3, 6-2, 3-4, 7-8, 9-7. Our front seven is horrible, people. And I don't care if Bear Bryant comes in. When you have the worst defensive tackles in the NFL, you're going nowhere. This kid seems to be slipping. He played his better ball. He played better ball in 2023. My opinion, he was playing and not to get hurt this year. At pick 76, Cowboys are taking Deion Walker, Kentucky, 6'6", 350, and that's going to be him dieting down at the combine when he weighs in at around 350, because I believe he played much, much heavier weight than 350. And he played 1, he played 3, he played 5, he even played stand-up 5. And for a person his size, it should be illegal to move as good as he does. And people are going to say, oh, he's sliding. Hey, that's great. I don't care. I get better value by taking him later on. I pick 150 because we don't have no 4th-round pick because we traded it for wide receiver that's never going to catch nothing, Jonathan Mingo. Listen, this kid is getting no love. And if he's on the board in the 5th round, you better light off fireworks. Kyle Monangai, Rutgers, 5'9", 215, built like a bowling ball. I'm very high on this kid. Last year, 2023, he led the Big 12, Big 10. He led the Big 10 in rushing. He had two 1,300-yard seasons back to back. I watched him in high school. He is a bowling ball full of switchblades. At pick 170, this kid is. Listen, all these picks I've given you except one. But this kid, people are all over the board on this kid. I've seen first round, I've seen second round, I've seen round 7, and that's Anthony Belton, offensive tackle, NC State. He stepped in for Ike Ekwonu, who went on with the Carolina Panthers, who I was not high on. Everybody was making him out to be the next Larry Allen. People, listen, you're going to hear this every draft cycle. They're going to say, oh, this person's generational, this person's generational. They're not. They're just giving you a song and dance and bullshit to just spit out content. Every year, oh, that's the next Warren Sapp. Every year, that's the next Peyton Manning. Every year, that's the next, Jonathan Ogden. No, they're just spitting facts. They're just making up shit. Generational is a word that gets used way too much. But Anthony Belton stepped in at left tackle for Ike Ekwonu, 6'7", 350, and he can play both tackle spots, offensive, left tackle, right tackle. Let's be honest, we're going into the season with an $82 million question at right tackle and Terrence Steele that we paid him $82 million, yet he gave up 10 sacks. And we had Chuma Adoga playing left tackle more than our first-round draft pick, Tyler Guyton, which should concern you. But Dallas thought just because we drafted Tyron Smith 20 years ago and moved him, it's going to work the same. It does not work like that, people. 175, I'm throwing you a little bit of a sleeper, but I've given you him already. I love it, man. You're going to see all these videos this week about people pumping like, showing you people, and I've given you every single one of them yet. Shrine Bowl, I've given you 90% of the people already on the Shrine Bowl. 97% of them. The Senior Bowl, same thing. Closer probably to 98. I've given you everybody already. So they want to talk about people now? Great. Click on my videos. I've been giving you these players since May. 177, Carson Vincent, Alabama A&M. 3-year starter, 6'7", 310. In my opinion, I think he is athletic enough to play left tackle, but a lot of teams are going to view him as a right tackle. He has arms that go down past his knees, and he can get the job done. Next pick, 188. Listen, like I've said this from day one, Dallas Cowboys have to come out of this draft with not 1, 2 running backs, and then pick one up at undrafted free agency. So at 188, we're picking Donovan Edwards, running back, Michigan, 6'1", 230. Listen, this kid is a little bit he has a story, and he's been all over the board. In 2024, in 2023, it was the Blake Corum show. And during the regular season, this dude looked horrendous. He looked like Ezekiel Elliott running with his shit in his pants. Great size, though. So he looked horrible the entire regular season. Now, the college playoffs start in 2023, and this kid's busting off 60-yard runs, 70-yard runs. And he like, where did this come from? Because I didn't see this, and I watched every single game this kid played in. I didn't see that during the regular season. So during the playoffs in 2023, he went off. And for a man 6'1", 230, he had jets. All right. Now let's go to the 2024 season. 2024 season, Michigan lost 10 out of the 11 starters on offense. And this kid, Donovan Edwards, did basically nothing. He lost his job to a Khalil Mullings. So honestly, I do not know which Donovan Edwards is going to show up. But if the 2023 version, he might have been playing just not to get hurt in 2024 because he figured listen, Michigan lost 10 starters on offense. Maybe he was playing not to get hurt. Maybe he's just going to show up on the next level, but it happens all the time, bro. You see kids don't want to play. They want to stay for that NIL money, but they don't want to. They play not to get hurt, and then they show up in the NFL and they're rushing for 2,000 yards. But Donovan Edwards is a name to look out for as a late day 3 sleeper. And the question mark is, though, we just don't know which Donovan Edwards is going to show up. I can't tell you that, man. Next, at 211, a big man in the middle, Joe Evans, defensive tackle, University of Texas, San Antonio, 6'3", 340, run clogger. That's all you're going to get out of this kid. He's athletic for a big man. What was the theme of this mock draft, people? Trenches. You got 3 defensive linemen. You got a linebacker. You got 2 running backs and 2 offensive linemen. So the only thing we were missing out of here, because we all know that, Dak Prescott can't play football unless every one of his wide receivers is a first-round pick, is a wide receiver. But there's another kid. I did another mock draft. So mock draft 68.0, there's going to be a kid from Utah State who I've given you already, Jalen Royals. Yeah, people are going to start talking about him now. I gave you him a month ago. He's a speedster to look out for. Also, him and Ricky White, day 3 guys. Keandre Lambert-Smith, day 3 guys. Listen, I personally would not draft a wide receiver with the first pick, second pick, or third pick. That's me. The fact that we have these new coaches, they have no clue what they're doing. I don't know who's going to be running draft day. I really don't. I wouldn't be shocked if you see Dallas trade back not once, but twice, because, bro, there's like 30 free agents. We're going to have such a young team this year. It's crazy. And in my opinion, you're going to have a 2025 season is going to be worse than 2024, because we all know when you're rocking with the GWO, it's for life. I've dropped 615 draft prospects already, and I'm going to be coming out with 10 more. Boom! I don't know. People do that, so why not? I figure I'll do that.